I'm going to start with our dean. For those of you that don't know Maurice Dancer, he is the dean. We are so thrilled to have him. So Maurice, why don't you kick us off?
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, great. All right. Maurice Dancer. I am the chef concierge at the Pierre, New York, at Taj Hotel. We're located here at 61st and Fifth Avenue, right over, as we call ourselves, we're the gateway to the Upper East Side. I've been at the Pierre now for over 32 years. I know that's been a while. Yeah, someone asked me this morning, what makes it wow? And I said, being longevity. And for us at the Pierre, we are considered a boutique luxury hotel. The uniqueness of the Pierre is that we are not only a transient hotel, but we're also one of the first New York City cooperatives. So we have 76 shareholders, permanent resident apartments in the building. So the concierge operates with the transient guests, as well as the permanent residents that are there. And so it's a great environment to be in. I would say that we are in that luxury market dealing with that 1% or 5% in the class of income bracket. So it is very much an elevated type of service. And right now, like many of the hotels here in the city, we're experiencing occupancies averaging anywhere from about 92 to 95%. So it's doing very well, and we're very pleased currently with our AE on the circle.
And how many guests do you have contacted on any given day?
So, how do we measure that? For us, we look at a couple of metrics. Phone call volume. Right now, we are looking at anywhere from 200 to 250 calls into the concierge desk. As far as email traffic, we are looking more or less when we do the back and forth at about 75, 80 emails that are going back. And then you have just people, the guests that are walking up, and the ones that you're working with of that nature. So it is quite an active day at the concierge desk from 7 a.m. until 11 p.m. nonstop. But when David was talking about the digital space and all that, emails have become, emails and WhatsApp are the two areas that we are navigating in our day-to-day activity.
Lorenzo.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Lorenzo Gutierrez. I've been in hospitality about 11 years. 9 of them have been as a lobby concierge at the Hotel Central Park, which we are more of a lifestyle, sustainable brand. We focus on eco-conscious luxury at our property. We have 2 hotels, one in Central Park, which is my location, and we have one by Brooklyn Bridge. I would say, we have a lot of different methods to contact us, but we are definitely more in the technological side of things. We have our One Hotels app, which the hotel can reach, or the guests can reach out to us through the hotel out of the hotel app. They can text us or they can email us. I would say on an average day, we probably get about 100 emails from guests. We are also very active with our pre-arrival situation. So we do try to reach out to all of our guests that are celebrating anything special, anything that is a milestone, or if they've stayed with us before, we try to welcome them back in order to attract some type of interaction or business transaction. So yes, that's would be it.
Michael, you've only been at your hotel for a short time.
This is right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael Remo. I'm the chef concierge at Waldorf-Astoria, New York. And I've been a concierge now for over 13 years. But my first time here at Waldorf, and I've been with Hilton for a long time. Just like Maurice and Lorenzo, in terms of traffic, of what I experienced with people coming to the desk, we have those that come to our desk quite frequently, physically, and we also have pre-arrival, right? So unlike others, we actually reach out 30 days beforehand to really get what the guest wants. when they get to New York City. But with that, that comes with a lot of emails. So I'd like to say we're 150 to 200 a day. We have a dedicated team that really looks into that and really allocates which concierges will get what. And with that, we also get a lot of pen pals, and we have our messaging platforms. Interestingly, Maurice mentioned WhatsApp, which is also really important with our international office. So that's with the Waldorf-Astoria.
Fantastic. I have 1 year or two. Hi, my name is Eve Melendez. I'm the concierge at the Westin New York Grand Central. I've been there about 13 years. Our hotel is 744 rooms. The first part of the week is from Monday from Sunday to Thursday is corporate guests. The rest of the week is our leisure guests. We have a lot of communication through our applications and our iPad where guests reach out to us with their requests. We reach out for special occasions as well. We try to do as much pre-arrival preparation for our guests before they arrive so that they can be prepared and best serve them. And the foot traffic at the desk is constant. We're by Grand Central. It feels like Grand Central at my desk. There's always someone asking for something, a map, city guide, anything. We're always there, and there's always someone there to help them.
So, I don't know about you, but those desks are far busier than I would have thought, right? And a lot of people say, oh, nobody's calling concierges anymore, but now you've got the data. Hundreds of people every single day are looking for information. So, what are you looking for? And then just keep it focused on activities and attractions. That's long distance or things like that. You know, what these people are most interested in is, you know, they want to know how you are asked for help on what they should do when they come to New York. So we want you to start.
All right, so when they come to the desk, basically they're asking for, it's basically a seasonal thing, right? So right now we're in the fall season, so now the requests at my desk are basically shopping. We have a lot of quite a few international arrivals, which we list pretty much all year, but they're asking for the first level attractions like the Statue of Liberty, Empire State Building, the observatories. So those are the guests asking for that. And then our more local guests are asking for dining, theater, galleries, museums, the latest thing, the best restaurants. And that's what we're experiencing right now.
Michael?
Hello. I am checking the service. Yes. I think for Waldorf guests, they're certainly more discerning from what I've experienced now. We've been on this since July, and talking about Eldon Durham, AI is heavily utilized by a lot of my guests. I'm sure they have else here. But what makes it difficult for us concierges is to repeat that process, right? What are things that they can do that they cannot research, right? Things that they cannot get from Google or ChatGPT or what have you. So that is what I'm looking for every time we're creating an itinerary. We're looking for things that they cannot easily search. And this is where I call, sometimes if it's hypothetically a restaurant, I call community. But do you have a secret, something in your menu that we can possibly do for our guests and it's not advertised? That truly goes a long way, especially for Waldorf guests. I can't speak for everyone here, but certainly that's something that they're always looking for, and that's what I'm looking for as well when really planning out an itinerary.
Geez, there's so many things people ask for. Right now, definitely seasonal. A lot of boat tours are wanted. I have a group of 18 coming right now wanting to do a food tour mixed with an observatory, and then they want to end up in a meditation session with aromatherapy. So it's like, that's just literally what I'm working on right now. So there's so many vast options. But yes, I mean, we have a list of recommended activities because there is those guests that are all wanting to do the observatory or Statue of Liberty. So you have your standards, right? But yeah, so essentially we had to seek a lot of education, and City Guide, thank God for that support, lends itself out to us to go to events and be the guest, and so that's always appreciated. Because that's how we get our activity lists. This is how I recommend, what's new, what's out there, is through these events, through these sources. But yeah, I mean, that's just an example. We get many, many different things. But, mostly tours, restaurants, you're always going to get, just those, one-off, like, they need a naturalistic healer or something like that. Which you get, or their barbershop to come to them. So you get those exquisite little details as well. But yeah, that's what I'm getting.
And as I said to the team, I'm here to echo them, so I echo all that they've said. And I think what we learn at Pierre when we look at our guests is that they are similar to what Eve has experienced, in that they've been here at least 4 or 5 times before. So we have a very high return guest profile, which means that they are looking for the next level of CUNY activity that they've already done. So if they've been to the Empire State Building, or if they've been to Hudson Yards, if they've been to Top of the Rock, what then has come new that they can do? And again, that's where we spend a lot of our time in relations with our partners and thinking about what can you curate that's going to be unique and special for that. Because everyone in this room understands from a guest perspective, New York City, you're here for theater, that's your number one destination. Then you're looking at dining, and then you're looking at the tourism options for entertainment, and I would say something that you're in, like a good tour on the Upper East Side. You and me. So that's what we're experiencing.
So you talked about advanced planning. Let's amplify that. So, Mike, why don't you start? What kind of questions, what do you do? Are you booking tickets in advance? Are you making recommendations? Are you sending emails out with flyers? What do you do for those people that are reaching out? Especially, I think you said you have a policy of reaching out to them 30 days in advance.
Correct.
So I think that's really important for everybody here. What goes on prior to arrival?
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, everything from Broadway tickets to restaurants. I do have the guests that will always ask for the free public bar corner store looking for Charles. So with that, we want to be readily prepared, right? That's the expectation we want to deliver. But those are primarily the questions of the hard-to-get restaurants. But also our job as concierge is to really come up with those alternatives that we have to give in the event that those restaurants, which is often, are not available. So we get those questions a lot of hard-to-get restaurants, Broadway tickets, which is easy. And then right now, currently, good thing we are reaching out 30 days beforehand because we're already doing a lot of New Year's Eve things, Thanksgiving, and a lot of Christmas spectacular. So that's primarily what we do. Now, we also get those other emails about long stay guests and things of that nature. And when we do stay a long time, which we do have, and I've only been open since July, that's a whole different story.
You go ahead.
So similar to Michael, I think we start the process when the reservation is made. So I like what I hear from Michael because of the fact that in New York City, if you don't do your planning, then you may not get what you want. But the additional process starts right after you make your reservations. The guest receives a link to the concierge where we try and identify your preferences and your profiles so that at least we can start the conversation. When we respond, we try to include just not to overwhelm a guest, but we want to include different aspects of what the city offers. So an observation deck, a tour, we do have a separate template for dining, but to give them an opportunity to think about all that the city can offer them, and then we start to curate as it gets closer to the time of arrival. But definitely from that inception of the reservation, and then we start that conversation.
Yes, definitely. We always try to reach out. At least I try to strive for at least a week in advance. And then I go back and I also do 2-3 days out. So the next 3 days who's coming in, there's a lot of people that book last minute, spare the moment. So I'd like to reach out to those people if we haven't gotten to their reservation prior. So we definitely try to dissect what they're looking for, what their preferences are, all of that through the application on the phone. And that communicates through our system, and then it puts everything into the hotel management system. And so we see the low notes coming in for anniversary, coming in for birthday celebration, graduation, New Year's Eve, Thanksgiving. We're on a parade route, so we get a lot of Thanksgiving. So I definitely, for New Year's, there's no way I do try it 30 days before because it gets way too crazy. So for New Year's, I'll reach out 30 days prior, but for everything else, usually about 7 days prior. Broadway shows are always listed at different options, as Maurice mentioned, because there's so many aspects to our beautiful city. But yes, we have our recommended activity lists, and we typically include that if the guest wants more options. We have our kind of like a template that we send out, a document with kind of our standards, different areas of the city that we offer and different vendors that we work with currently. So those are all mentioned in that PDF. If the guest wants more, then of course then we have our list of activities that we move on to.
Yes.
I think, that's exactly what we do as well. The pre-arrival emails, we all at my desk got a little website that was 10 pre-arrival emails per day, where we reach out to the guests, they reach back to us and ask their questions. They're sometimes seem a little confused about all the options out there. And so we streamline things for them and give them the top recommendation and make it easier for them to make their decision. And then we help with booking, we help them with the booking. Because usually what they say is, there's so many websites for Statue Liberty. Can you tell me which one to choose? They come to Solomon and the emails. And so we just tell them that this is the best one. We're trying to make things easier for them so that they have a better experience.
And Maurice, what Eve just said is really
Maurice,
what you just said is really the crux of what we're talking about, which is when the guest comes to the concierge or call the concierge or email the concierge, they're asking for your expertise and they're asking for your trust. And again, that's where it all begins. As we said, the marketplace is just filled with data, with information. And they are coming to you because, number one, they are fried from all of that. And they are trusting that you are going to be the discerner of that information. So that is, for us, I think that's the important part of the concierge.
Okay. So we're going to run out of time fast as expected, so I want to move a little quicker. Recommendations or affirmations? Give me a quick breakdown. In other words, when somebody comes to your desk or email you, are they looking for a recommendation, or are they looking to say, I read about this, I heard about this, what do you think? Just quick answer. Maurice.
I think over here it is going to be in 80% is recommendations, 20% affirmation.
Lorenzo.
I think it's like 50-50 sometimes. You just have to read the guests. Some guests have planned everything, and you would crush their heart if you dare tell them that something is incorrect. So you have to feel it out. because it is definitely an affirmation, and you're gonna know that yes, and you just need to say yes. That is so. You don't want to go that route, but yeah, I mean, I definitely, I mean, it is friendship, right? It's with the like they go our we're service and friendship. They're looking at you as a best friend, so you have to be sensitive to that and make sure that if they're totally wrong, of course, you have to tell them, listen, you cannot go to
They're really fast.
But yes, so 50-50.
For me, I can't go percentage-wise, but I do emails, affirmations, and when in person recommendations. So I'm like,
Yes, for me, exactly when they're in front of me, I try to give them my best opinion, and so that would be an affirmation. And if I have the opportunity to elaborate, it's affirmation.
Okay, switching topics. Education. We talked about that a little bit. There's a gazillion or 2 gazillion things to do in New York City, and these guys have to know about everything. Again, quickly, I'm just going to run out of time. How do you stay abreast, Eve?
Well, I try to attend as many events as possible. Attending New York City Association meetings, the vendors introducing their product and telling and developing a relationship with them is really important for me, because if I have a situation where I need to call somebody right away, it's amazing and it's service magic when I'm able to talk to somebody face to face and resolve my guest issue.
Michael?
likewise, going to events, but with my team, as I just opened it, I have a requirement that every week we have to read City Guide. I'm not saying that because we're right here, but it's truly the case. I do a daily exam on asking, what are the differences that we can watch now? And it's a nice quiz. So that's the, I don't know how my concierges think about that, but otherwise it's been very helpful.
Events for sure are incredibly helpful. So staying afloat of those is very important to me. Our meetings, we have discussions as concierge, and we talk about everything, any bad experiences we've had with certain vendors or any experiences personally with restaurants that we've had. So I try to speak to our community. But yes, I mean, definitely also some of the younger people in my hotel, I try to speak to them. What are they doing now? Like, what are the hot spots? What's everybody asking for? What is every email about? So a lot of that has a lot to do with it too. So, New York Magazine, amazing. Tie-Down Magazine, Secret NYC, it's great too.
Can I just add one other thing? Also, page 6 of the New York Post and whatever Taylor Swift is doing.
Something important here for myself, it is very similar to all of the other actions. Again, it's about relationships and newsletters and magazines, but also we rely on our guests for their information and their feedback, because, as I said, we are both a resident and a hotel. So our residents who live in the city and go out every night and do things that we would never do, their feedback is very, very important to us, and it makes a big difference in our recommendations.
So, Maurice, start with you. What everybody in the room wants to know is, what is the best way for them to educate you? How can they keep you apprised of their competitive advantages, their new things, the things that will help you recommend them to guests? And again, I need you guys to move fast.
Sorry. So a couple of points. One is what Lorenzo just said, is that we all rely centrally on the review and the information that comes out in their newsletters. Like, all of us are part and parcel of that. So we if we're targeting that funds to us. We also want to build relationships with all of the entities. We're working on charting your point. Now is an email, not an email, a part of your website that can be accessed by the concierge that lets you know that whether it is the concierge directly or someone we recommended from our hotels have piped in to get information. It's what I'm working on now. So we're having a pilot access to your websites and information pack is a little niche that is begun with the building seas.
Digital information is great for me. It's distract me paperless. So if you could give me all your information on a PDF where I could easily forward that to a guest with all the secret hits, all the information I need to know, educate me, in a quick way, then I will be the most valuable to the vendor. So that's it.
Just keep on inviting us. I'm really experiencing it. We'll really relay this to the guest. But just like what Lorenzo had mentioned, one pages, just something very simple, so that, a spiel of how we can sell you, and we go from there.
I would say email blasts, attending our association meetings, and stopping by our desks is always a basic to be personally.
So in light of that, also what's so important to them is how do you actually influence ticket sales and purchases? How does that work?
Well, basically, when a guest comes to us, I'll ask him about a theater show, a Broadway show. We give them our recommendations. I give them based on what I've seen. And also, what they tell me, if there's kids or whatever kind of profile in our, like I try to get them something that they enjoy. I ask them, should I musical, should I play? So we just ask open-ended questions and try to help them as possible.
How often are you actually purchasing the tickets for them, and how often are you just directing them, this is what you should go do?
Well, we do tickets at the desk about 60%. A lot of times it's TDF. And we have a lot of questions for sporting events. And so we sell a lot of sporting event tickets, especially this time of the year.
I go.
Okay. It really stems from the itinerary, right? When we do the itineraries, that's how we're able to do all the tequila sales and, planning around for the guests and the families or what have you. And in terms of that question of, what's the percentage of how much you're actually relate to the guests or you're purchasing, at the Waldorf, 100%, we're doing everything. We're a one-stop shop, right? We don't want the guests to worry. The only thing they have to do is pay and enjoy, relax. So that's the main.
And I definitely get a mix. I would say there's the guest that comes in that wants everything done for them. They're too busy. They need me as their assistant. And so we'll book everything. And we'll just need some credit card info to do that. And then there's the guest that just wants the advice. So I have a good mix, I would say, at my hotel. I would say 60% would be a good way to express how many we book.
And for us, it's very close to the Waldorf. We would love to do 100%, but we're doing is that with the new generation, they like to do things on their own. So the 100% is direct ticket sales, and the 10% we would recommend to the various ticketers and things.
All right, last question.
Last question.
You got 2-3 sentences. What advice can you offer all of these people to work better with hotels?
So I would say to work better with hotels, if you're not already, which I think a lot of you are, it is to do what Eve says, find the opportunity to come in person and make the introduction and build a relationship from there.
Yes, I would say connectivity and friendship is always great. I think educating us on your product in a simple way, because we have so many of you that we want to, of course, sell. The simpler it is, the better I think we can sell you. So,
Exactly. I think just making it easy and accessible for us, that's the main thing.
Yes, I agree. I think getting to know us and coming to our desk and always refreshing us in your products and your services is always a great thing for us.
And when you do come to the desk, just be aware that if it's a little busy, take a little break. We'll still get to you. Thank you.
They didn't disappoint, did they? Thank you, guys.